Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to get really good at something we all have to do: apologize in English. Look, we all make mistakes, right? But knowing how to say sorry in just the right way can honestly make all the difference. We're going to go way beyond a simple "I'm sorry" and give you a bunch of great phrases to handle pretty much any situation. Ready? Let's dive in. And that leads us perfectly into our first major point: casual versus serious apologies. Getting the tone right is everything. I mean, accidentally bumping into a friend is a totally different world from, say, accidentally breaking their favorite coffee mug, right? Your words have to show you get that difference. This is probably the most important first step to a really good apology. Okay, let's start with those casual, everyday moments. For those small, simple mistakes, a perfect and super common phrase is "my bad." You're going to hear this one all the time in informal chats, especially with friends or maybe younger coworkers. It's just a quick, relaxed way to say, "Oops, that was my fault," without making a big deal out of it. So, when is it the perfect time to use "my bad"? Well, it's for these kinds of low pressure situations. For instance, if you forgot to send a quick email, you can just say, my bad, I'll send it right now. Or imagine you got a date wrong for a coffee meeting. Instead of a huge apology, you can just say, oh, I thought it was tomorrow, my bad. It's also really, really common in sports. You're playing a game, you miss a pass, a quick, oops, my bad, tells everyone you know you messed up and you're moving on. So here you can really see the difference side by side. On one hand, you've got "my bad" for those small, unimportant mistakes. It's got that relaxed, informal vibe. But on the other hand, for bigger things, we need to switch it up to something like "I'm sorry" or "it's my fault." These phrases are way more formal and show that you're being clear, respectful, and you actually feel bad. You definitely don't want to mix these two up. So let's dig into those more serious apologies. In a situation where "my bad" would just sound rude or not nearly serious enough, you need phrases that carry a bit more weight. Your best choices are "I'm sorry" and "it's my fault." These phrases make it totally clear that you get how serious the mistake was and that you genuinely regret it. Let's look at a few examples so this really sinks in. Imagine you're really late meeting a friend. You wouldn't just say "bye bad." You'd say, "I am so sorry I'm late." Or if you accidentally break something that belongs to them, a clear "I'm sorry I broke your pen" is what's needed. And this is even more crucial in a professional setting. If a project gets delayed because of something you did, you have to say, "I'm sorry for the delay with the project." In these cases, "my bad" just doesn't show enough respect for what happened. Okay, so feeling good about casual versus serious? Awesome. Now let's level up a little and look at some common idioms. Idioms are these amazing phrases that can make your English sound so much more natural, and they're perfect for handling some of those trickier situations, just like a native speaker would. Our first idiom is a really fun one: to let the cat out of the bag. I mean, just picture it for a second. You've got a cat hidden in a bag for a surprise, and then, whoops, you let it out. The secret's out. And that's exactly what it means: to accidentally reveal a secret or a surprise before you were supposed to. Let's see how this works in real life. First, say you're planning a surprise party. You tell everyone helping you, okay, guys, please be careful. Don't let the cat out of the bag about Jane's party. Or what if you're the one who messes up? You might have to admit, ugh, I think I accidentally let the cat out of the bag about the office closing early today. It's really the go-to phrase for that "oops, I wasn't supposed to say that" moment. All right, our next idiom is for a completely different kind of feeling. You know those moments when you have to do something you really don't want to do, like maybe admit a big mistake? Well, for those tough times, we use the idiom "bite the bullet." It just means you finally decide to face a difficult or unpleasant situation, basically because you know it just has to be done. And what's cool is that this one isn't just for apologies. Let's say you get a huge, unexpected bill for car repairs. You might sigh and say, well, the repairs were super expensive, but I just had to bite the bullet and pay. Here's another classic one. I absolutely hate going to the dentist, but my tooth hurts, so I decided to just bite the bullet and make an appointment. It's all about that feeling of, okay, let's just get this over with.
So far, we've focused a lot on how to give an apology. But what about the other side of the coin? What happens when someone says sorry to you? It's just as important to know how to respond in a kind and gracious way. So let's flip the script now and look at how to accept an apology.
So if someone gives you a casual apology like, my bad, what do you say back? A perfect response is no biggie. This is a super, super common and friendly way to say, hey, it really wasn't a major problem. It's the perfect match for my bad and basically just means it's no big deal or no problem. And no biggie isn't your only choice. You've got other great casual options. First, you can say, all good. It's a short, sweet way to confirm that everything's okay, no hard feelings. Another excellent one you'll hear constantly is no worries. This is a really friendly way to tell the person, hey, please stop worrying about it, we're fine. All of these are just a normal part of everyday English conversation. Let's put these into some little mini dialogues. Imagine someone says, oh no, I am so sorry I broke your pen. You could just respond, oh, no biggie, I've got a ton more. Or if a friend spills some coffee and says, I am so sorry, you can reassure them with, hey, don't worry about it, all good. And at work, if a colleague says sorry for a delay, a warm no worries is the perfect way to let them know it's all okay. All right, I know that was a lot of new phrases. The absolute best way to make them all stick is to see them in action. So we're going to walk through a short little conversation that uses a bunch of these expressions. Just listen for the phrases we've been talking about and see how they all fit together. Okay, so here's the scene. Ben shows up late for a meeting with his colleague Alex. He immediately says, I know, my bad. I thought the meeting was at 3, not 2. See that? He starts with my bad, the perfect casual choice for a simple mistake like mixing up the time. And Alex's response? No biggie. She shows him it's okay. It wasn't a huge deal. But then, the conversation takes a turn. She brings up a new, much more serious problem. Her secret trip to Hawaii is, not a secret anymore. And this is where it gets interesting. Ben knows immediately what he did, and he fesses up. About that. I think I let the cat out of the bag. And there it is. He uses our idiom to admit that he was the one who revealed her secret plans. Now look closely at how his language changes here. This is key. It's not my bad anymore, is it? He levels up his apology to it's my fault completely. He even uses our other idiom, saying he knew he had to bite the bullet and tell her he was sorry, which shows that it was hard, but he knew he had to do it. And finally, let's see how Alex responds to this much more serious apology. You can tell she's still a bit annoyed, right? But because he was honest about it, she says, oh, since you were honest, all good. She accepts the apology and smooths things over, but she also sets a boundary for next time, which is a super realistic way for that kind of conversation to end. Okay, let's do a super quick recap just to lock all of this in. For a small mistake, your go-to phrase is, my bad. For something more serious, you're going to want to use I'm sorry or it's my fault. If you accidentally spill a secret, you let the cat out of the bag. When you have to face a really tough situation, you bite the bullet. And finally, to accept an apology nicely, you've got great options like no biggie, all good, or no worries.
So now the ball's in your court. The only way you're really going to learn this stuff is by doing it. So here's your challenge. This week, try to use at least one of these new phrases. Maybe you'll get a chance to say my bad for a little mistake, or maybe a friend will apologize to you and you can say no worries. Practice is everything. Thanks so much for watching.